Tell me something honestly. When has self-respect ever failed you? And how many times have your feelings done exactly that? The truth is, many people keep getting hurt for one simple reason. They choose their feelings over their self-respect. And when that becomes the pattern, the same painful situations keep repeating. One day, you're going to look back at the things you tolerated because of those feelings, and you'll ask yourself one question. Why didn't I choose my self-respect sooner? In this video, we're going to talk about exactly that. Hi guys, I'm Daria and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, this is the place where we talk about personal growth, self-worth, and becoming the version of yourself that no longer tolerates less than you deserve. Today we're talking about what happens when feelings start guiding your decisions more than your self-respect. So stick with me because this conversation might change the way you see your relationships and yourself. Chapter 1. The hard truth about respect you refuse to see. Tell me, when has self-respect ever failed you? And how many times have your feelings done exactly that? I have to be honest, my feelings have been wrong before, but my self-respect never has. I've realized my feelings have taken me to places I had to heal from. My self-respect never has. That's why now it comes first above everything, because feelings pass, the obsession passes, the what if passes. But the way you allow someone to treat you, that stays in your nervous system. It quietly rewires what you believe you deserve. Every time you stay where you are clearly disrespected, you teach yourself that crumbs are enough, and they're not. You say you're attached, you say it's complicated, you say you just need clarity, and you keep finding reasons to stay, but what you really need is standards. You need to understand this. When you operate from feelings, you don't see clearly. It's like wearing pink glasses. Everything looks like a love story. Unfortunately, reality is not pink, and potential is not a plan. Feelings can mislead you. Self-respect never does. Self-respect is not emotional, it's strategic. It's choosing what's good for you, even when your heart is busy writing a completely different story. And let's be honest, it's very convenient for people when you wear those pink glasses. You're so understanding, so patient, so easy to keep around, very comfortable for them and completely uncomfortable for you. How generous of you. But enough of that. You weren't born to be convenient. You were born to be respected. And trust me, nobody is handing out gold medals for self-sacrifice. At best, you get a quick pat on the back and replaced the moment you finally ask for more. Let's use these two queens as an example. Tell me, which one do you think gets the heartbreak and the life lesson? This one operates from feelings. She's wearing the pink glasses. Everything feels like fate. She believes potential is a promise. She believes patience will make her chosen. She believes if she gives more, she will finally receive more. She calls inconsistency confusion. She calls disrespect a bad day. And most importantly, she believes her love will change the situation. That's optimistic. This one operates from self-respect. She sees actions, not words. She listens to patterns, not excuses. She understands that access to her is earned. She doesn't stay where she's unsure. She doesn't explain her standards. She doesn't negotiate with behavior that doesn't meet her halfway. She believes that choosing herself is not a loss. She'd rather be alone than emotionally underpaid. Now tell me, which one sleeps peacefully and which one is up convincing herself it's not that bad? The self-respect version gets the peace, the clarity, the life. The feelings version gets the pink glasses and the lessons. If you want a life built on respect, you already know which woman you have to become. Chapter 2. The pattern you keep ignoring. Be honest. How many times have you closed your eyes when someone repeatedly disrespected you? Once? Twice? 3 times? How many more are you waiting for before you finally accept the message in their behavior? Because it's never just about them. Let's stop focusing on them for a second. Their behavior is theirs. What we're discussing is yours. The pattern isn't in their behavior. It's in what you keep tolerating. Do you actually enjoy being disrespected? Being overlooked? Stepped over? No? Then why do you keep allowing it? Because your tolerance becomes their permission. Most of the time, the answer is in the pattern. Ask yourself, do you stay because you're afraid to be alone? Because you're in love with who they could be? Because you keep thinking, if I try a little harder, if I'm softer, better, more understanding, it will finally work? I used to believe that too, that if I was perfect, everything would fall into place. Not true. Perfection doesn't create respect. Standards do. When I was younger, my boundaries were crossed more than once. And because I was operating from feelings, like most of us do as children, I was easier to influence, easier to convince, easier to overlook. But as I grew, I stopped moving from emotion and started moving from my self-respect. That's why I became very aware of this pattern. Now, the moment someone tries to step over my limits, I see it immediately and it ends there. And that's why I don't get hurt the way I used to. You give endless understanding, they get comfortable. You show self-respect, they show self-respect. That's how it works. Self-respect is your red carpet. Watch how fast the bare minimum turns into effort. It's not personal, it's human nature. People respect what they have to rise to. You might be thinking that you're being patient, but you're negotiating with disrespect. And the most dangerous part, you think you're investing in potential while you're slowly abandoning reality. You're trying to earn consistency, earn clarity, earn effort from someone who gives these things naturally when they truly value you. You are working for something that should be given freely. Don't fall into that trap. Not everyone will misuse your understanding, but some will absolutely benefit from it if you don't have standards. And that's the pattern. You call it patience, you call it loyalty, you call it love, you keep finding reasons to stay. But in reality, what if it's fear dressed up as hope? Chapter 3. People will take what you allow. You can't always blame people for taking. Their behavior is theirs, but what you do answer for is what you allow and what you don't. I didn't always know this, but after my boundaries were crossed more than once, the lesson became very clear. I realized some people don't understand the gentle version of you. Not because you weren't kind enough, but because there was no line. So they take and take and take, and then they're surprised when there's nothing left to take. Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who test your boundaries the most because they think closeness is a privilege. It's not. Closeness doesn't give anyone access to your self-respect. There is nothing noble about being endlessly available. Kindness without boundaries doesn't turn you into a good person. It turns you into a convenient one, and convenient people are rarely respected. Think about it. They have no problem asking for more, and you feel guilty asking for basic respect. You think you're being understanding. You think you're being mature. You think you're keeping the peace, but peace without self-respect is just quiet self-abandonment, and you call that being the bigger person, when in reality, you're just tolerating what you shouldn't. At some point, you have to stop explaining and start deciding, this is what I allow, this is what I don't. No anger, no drama, just clarity, because the moment you set a standard, everything changes. Trust me, boundaries teach people how to treat you. The ones who are only there to take will slowly disappear, and the ones who truly value you will rise to meet you. And that's exactly what you want. It stops being emotional and it becomes self-respect. People don't learn your worth from your words. They learn it from your boundaries. And if you keep giving without a limit, they will keep taking without a question. That's no cruelty. That's human nature. So stop asking why they take so much and start asking why you keep handing it over. Chapter 4. The Art of Walking Away. If you respect yourself, you do not sit there waiting for the 15th slap of disrespect. You get your gorgeous self up and you walk away. You do not explain poetry to someone who's still struggling with the alphabet. Walking away is not a loss, it's a filter. It removes what was never aligned with you in the first place. You think staying makes you strong? It doesn't. What's strong is saying calmly, this no longer meets me, and you walk away without waiting to be understood, because they might never give you the closure you're waiting for. Not the explanation, not the apology, not the final conversation you rehearsed in your head. Closure is not something they give you. Closure is the moment you decide you deserve better. What you need is self-respect and a decision about who you're going to be. Tell me, who do you want to be like? Like this gorilla. This one operates from feelings. She thinks her love will heal him. She thinks her patience will change him. She thinks if she understands him enough, he'll finally understand her. He calls at 2 a.m. It's a deep connection. How romantic. No sleep, no consistency, but at least you talked. It better be Brad Pitt. He disappears for 3 days. He's just going through a lot. The bare minimum, suddenly, it's effort. She's not in love. She's in full-time rehabilitation program. This one operates from self-respect. She can love deeply, but she never loves anyone more than she respects herself. She doesn't decode mixed signals. She doesn't romanticize inconsistency. She leaves at the first sign of confusion. If it's not clear, it's a no. If it's not mutual, she's gone. Not because she doesn't feel, but because she chooses herself, and that's why she has peace. And yes, it will feel uncomfortable. Yes, your feelings will try to negotiate. But tell me, what hurts more, being disappointed by someone who was never truly yours, or the feeling of betraying your own self-respect? Because self-respect is not emotional, it's strategic. It chooses peace over potential, clarity over confusion, dignity over temporary attachment. So you don't wait for the next disappointment. You stand up gracefully, quietly, and you walk away. And that's the moment your life begins to realign with your standards. Chapter 5. Self-respect over feelings. Always. Trust me, self-respect will take you much further in life than your feelings ever will. Into peace, into clarity, into rooms where you are valued, not tolerated. You see, women are naturally emotional. That is not a weakness, but it requires self-leadership, because if you don't guide your emotions, they will guide you away from yourself. And tell me, what has following your emotions blindly ever cost you? Sleepless nights for someone who sleeps just fine? Decoding one-word replies, anxiety for no reason, convincing yourself it's fine? You know what's embarrassing? Breaking your back from someone who can't even send a text and sleeps just fine. And for what? Was it worth it? Or was it embarrassing? You need to understand this. You can love deeply and still walk away. That is self-respect. That is self-love. Because if you stay somewhere where you are clearly disrespected, clearly unsure, clearly not chosen, tell me, do you really like yourself that little? Is this really what you think you deserve? No? Then stop being led by emotions. Start being smart. Start being self-respected. And if you have to, show some teeth and stand firmly behind what you want. That's not a relationship question. That's a self-worth question. And no one can give you the love you are refusing to give yourself. You know, there were so many times I chose my feelings over my self-respect, and I had to heal from it. So I changed the order. I still feel deeply. I just don't let my feelings decide my standards anymore. And trust me, your future self will thank you. You know the oxygen mask rule on a plane? You put it on yourself first, or you pass out trying to save someone else. That's not selfish, that's survival. The same is true in life. You don't abandon yourself to be chosen. You choose yourself, and the right people meet you there. Because self-respect is not a mood, it's a standard, it's a lifestyle. It's the decision that no matter how deeply you feel, you never stay where you are not valued. You are allowed to feel everything, just never at the cost of yourself. This is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video spoke to you. Remember, the right life starts the moment you stop betraying yourself. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips, and I'll see you in the next one.